Welcome back, everyone, to a special series I'm thrilled to be hosting here on LinkedIn called The Entrepreneur's Chair. Throughout this series, my goal is to provide you with authentic and intimate conversations with trailblazing entrepreneurs that are reshaping the Austin business scene. From startup founders to seasoned business moguls, we'll dive deep into the challenges, the triumphs, and the pivotal moments that have shaped who they are as an entrepreneur. I'm so happy to welcome today to our show Brittany Moore, founder of Be More Organized, a full-service organization firm based in Austin, Texas. What began as a one-woman mission to do more and be more for others has grown into a dynamic team known for transforming chaos into calm. Brittany and her team specialize in creating intentional, beautiful, and functional systems that help clients take control of their spaces and their lives. With a focus on elevated organization and personalized service, Be More Organized has become a go-to partner for clients seeking clarity, simplicity, and lasting impact. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, I have been looking forward to this conversation, and organization, I have to say, I'm not the best at it, so I want to learn. And
That's okay. I go to a hair person to do my hair. We don't all need to have all trades.
I love that.
That's what allows us to all be able to do what we love and serve others. So
that is great. So you started Be More Organized, and you had this belief that you can always do more for others. So what inspired you to take that personal belief into a business?
Yeah, it's 100% stems from, I would say, my childhood and just my experience growing up. I was met with a lot of chaos, a lot of challenge, a lot of friction, and obviously overcame that. Mm-hmm. And for me, I feel like what I learned in that experience and what I took away from that is that the environment that you either create or that you are in your home, in your work, in your car, wherever it is, that environment really impacts you. Mm-hmm. And I think we've kind of lost touch with how our room feels or how our office feels or what our kids' classroom feels or looks like. And there's so much for me that if I would have had an environment that felt more peaceful, that felt more orderly, what could have happened to my nervous system? What could have happened to my cortisol levels? How could that have impacted me differently? And so for me, I look at so many of the people, whether it's someone you walk past in the grocery store or someone you see in the kids' school drop-off line or anywhere, and you just see people looking tired and stressed and overwhelmed and worried, and kind of rightfully so. We all have so much on our plates. We all have so much going on. There's so much to juggle these days. There's so much more expectations. And I think as we become more and more interconnected, it just becomes more weight. There's more things we have to carry. And so for me, I was like, you know what? There needs to be a service that goes into people's homes that really supports them and almost helps people learn what maybe they didn't learn as a child. They didn't learn how to have an orderly space. They don't have the right tools. And so for us, it's how can we impact your environment in a positive way to create order, but really so that it creates more peace and more calm in your home.
I love that concept. I mean, I can even feel myself when life is out of control.
It's a domino effect. Your car becomes a disaster. Everything starts piling up. It's a lot. I mean, and that's the thing is, as a professional organizer, if you will, I don't have a perfect life. I mind you, my clients always love to ask, is your house perfectly organized? And I'm like, heck yeah, of course it is. But I still have days where things get out of control. I still have days where I just don't have enough time to do the laundry or what have you. But the idea behind organization is that everything has a home. So even when the chaos comes, and it's gonna come, then you know how to get back to order. Because the worst part is when you have just this massive pile of stuff and you're like, well, this doesn't have a home, I'm just going to shove it in the drawer. That's what you want to avoid. So this thing needs to have a home that you then walk it to and take it to.
I love that. What a great visualization.
Yeah.
So did you ever imagine that this skill set would turn into a business?
I really didn't. I think the first experience I ever had with organization, I want to say I think I was in high school. I don't know, maybe like a sophomore or junior in high school. My mom's an interior designer in LA, so I grew up working for her business a lot, organizing the fabrics and organizing the office. And so I knew I had a knack for that because, I mean, my mom would hire me to do it for her company. But I was babysitting and the parents went out to dinner, and I think it was 2 kiddos, and, put them to bed. And I'm not one to sit around and watch TV. So I'm like, well, I need to organize something or clean this up for them. I want them to come home to peace. You can tell they need it. And so I think I reorganized the entire playroom, and they came home and they were like, do you do garages? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I have to ask my mom, is that a child labor law or something? So for me, it was I think it was a very natural thing that started early. I think if you would have asked me what I wanted to be when I was little, I would have said the bagger at the checkout, because you get to organize all the groceries into the bags, And so, I mean, I think I always loved it, but no, I wouldn't say that I knew or honestly would have even thought that organization could be a career. It's really an industry that's exploded in the last 10 years. And so, which is great. There's a lot of awareness being brought. A lot more people know what it is and that they have this person that they can turn to or company that they can turn to for help. But I never would have imagined that it could be all that it's become today. And we have 25 team members right now here in Austin, and I'd hire 10 yesterday if I can find them. And for us, it's much more than just organization. Our tagline is the art of curated living. And for us, it goes well beyond just organization. We call it the hotel effect. We want you to walk into your home at the end of the day, and it should feel like your favorite hotel. It should feel like that feeling that we all crave to go on vacation for. I just want to go on vacation. I just want to go to a really nice hotel. I just want to escape the chaos and the mess of home and life and work and meetings and traffic lights and kid drop-off schedules and all the things, right? So your home needs to be that respite. Your home needs to be that space. And it sounds a bit corny, but it's so true that we need to get back to thinking of our home as the place where we connect. We have our family, we have our space. It's a place that is rejuvenating, and not a place that you walk through the door. So many of not only my clients, but I know my friends and people in my life, and I'm sure people in your life, where you walk through the door and you're like, oh my gosh, that needs to be touch-up paint, that light on the top of the ceiling that's 20 foot high, I need to call the fire department to come do that. It's all the things that add up. I need to get the outside power washed. I've been meaning to do that. I don't even know what vendor to call. I'm probably going to get screwed because I'm going to hire someone off Yelp. We do all of that. And so we changed it about, I think it was 8 years ago, because I've had the company for 15 years.
Okay.
And so about 8 years ago, we realized that we could organize every single square inch of a client's home, but it doesn't mean that we've solved their problem or their feeling of overwhelm with their home the moment they walk in. It doesn't mean there still isn't a million things on their wish list and dream list and they need to do. And so our goal goes well beyond that organization into we assess every single area of your home, your pain points, your goals, your dreams, what's working, what's not working, the design elements. And our goal is that you walk into that space, you walk into your entire home, and you're just I can fully rest here. You're not sitting in this chair, looking around the room, being I really need to get a new rug. I really need to do that, because then you're not resting. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about all the other things that you need to do when you have enough of that, So.
Well, it's interesting. You said you have 25 people that are, work with you.
For one of my companies, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that, because I know you're a serial entrepreneur, which is excellent. So those 25 people, it must be a really unique skill set. How do you go about finding, what are you looking for when you're looking for that perfect fit, right person, right seat for your organization?
Yeah, we are a very, very service-forward company. And so we talk about our brand sitting at the intersection of the Four Seasons Hotel from a like customer service perspective, consistency in customer service. And I always tell my team, I'm like, okay, guys, put on your concierge hats. Like you're the concierge at the Four Seasons. It's yes, ma'am. It's you always want the client to feel like you're serving them. Because sometimes our clients like to get a little chummy with us because it's pretty intimate process for a lot of clients. I mean, we're organizing your underwear, right? But for some of them, they want to get kind of chummy and be like, oh my God, we need to do lunch and we need to do this or whatever. And they want to become friendly, and we're totally open to that. But in the moment when we're 8 to 5 at your house, we are serving you. We're not equal to you. We are, if you will, below you. We are here to serve you. You're the boss. You're the one in control. And a lot of times I think clients get worried that like we're coming into their lives to take more control from them, to like take over their house. And I always love to tell clients, I'm like, our goal is to find the control and give it back to you. Like you're the one in control. But for that reason, so that's the Four Seasons approach. But the other one is restoration hardware. And so restoration hardware, I'm obsessed with them. So this just really comes from me. But it's, they're very neutral. They don't really believe in color. No restoration hardware uses any color. It's fur, on leather, on wood, on metal. It's textures and layering those textures that creates warmth in a space. And they also really believe in oversized pieces that take up more space so that you don't need as much furniture. They fill up the space themselves. So you've got the texture, you've got the oversized furniture that's also just more comfy, all the things. But we really approach our design from that perspective. We want organization to be the calming, relaxing, symmetrical, monotone thing that beautifully blends into the background, not is takes the show. A lot of people have heard of a company called The Home Edit. They're like rainbow queens and color queens, and we're like, we believe in some of that in like kids rooms or playrooms, where that's a really basic way to get a child involved in organization is, the red book goes back with the other red books. Right. Trying to teach them at like the age of 2, that's a really nice system for them. But for an adult, we want more relaxing spaces. I try to teach my clients a lot about color therapy, and that color evokes emotion. We know that in branding. We know that in advertising. There's a reason most of the snacks in your pantry are red and yellow. Look it up. But so for us, I don't want you to be more evoked by organization or more evoked by your space. And I want clients to be more aware of the pillows, the rugs, the colors they choose in their spaces. Do you want to feel that? Do you know what red makes you feel in a space? There's a reason why in arts and crafts rooms, we use a lot of like a soft yellow. Yellow is a very creative color. It sparks creativity. When you walk into the average doctor's office, they're using likely a pink color that is a like very gray muted blue or green, because it's a very calming, relaxing tone. And so you have to be more aware of the colors and the textures and the patterns that you're bringing into spaces and what that evokes. And there's a lot of training in that, even in interviewing, which ties me back to your original question.
No, this is great.
But it's for us, with all of that, for us, hiring is very servant-hearted focused at the beginning. Or not at the beginning, but at the forefront. Sure. It's how can we hire people that are very empathetic and caring first. We have a slogan on our hiring documentation that says "No mean girls allowed." Like, we will not stand for it. Right. Like, no. We are mostly women. I would welcome more guys in a heartbeat. We need more masculinity in our team. Unfortunately, there's not enough guys who apparently want to organize houses.
Well, maybe someone would hear this.
I know. Please
come on, guys.
Let's go. But so for us, it's servant-hearted leaders. And then I would say second is I can train you how to do a skill. For the most part, I can't train you how to just be a good person. And so we definitely hire for character. And Next, I would say it's really hard in our culture these days to find people who are skilled at critical thinking and self-awareness. It is just a skill set that is like, it almost doesn't exist.
Interesting.
It's really challenging. And I talk to other business owners. We hire interns from UT and local schools all the time. I talk to professors, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, none of these kids have any critical thinking skills. So I would say those are the big things for us: is servant-hearted leaders, very empathetic people, no mean girls, and people who really want to show up and just serve others. And then, yeah, if you hopefully have strong character and you're a good person who just cares about other people, and this isn't just about, ooh, it's fun to like put things in bins. It's like, I'm really creating a system that could change this person's life. And those are stories we've absolutely heard over the years of lives being changed.
Well, and that's one of the questions I was curious about, because, you're more about than just organizing homes, right? I mean, you're
a lot more.
It's time, space, peace, saving relationships. So can you share a story when you
So
dramatically changed a client's life?
Yeah, so many. I mean, over the years, we've had, a lot of times it's weeks or months later, and I've had a wife call me, and it was one of the probably first big experiences in this way that I'll never forget. And she was just like, you guys saved my marriage. I mean, my husband didn't, it was a busy home, couple kiddos, husband, big executive, wife, does a lot of stuff with the schools and I think a couple nonprofits around town. So also busy.
Right.
But the husband was gone and traveling most of the time. And then even when he was home, it's like he was just staying at the office and working late. And so by really changing this home, and the home, the home was a bit of a mess. Like there was stuff everywhere. It was not a peaceful place. There was kids' toys and crayons on the walls. It was a nice house. Like this was a nice home.
Sure.
It was just, you could tell the mom was burnt out and overwhelmed. She's acting as a single mom most of the time. Her husband's gone. She doesn't have any help. And we completely decluttered the whole home, organized every square inch, added labels, hired vendors from carpet cleaning, deep cleaned the sofa, had our handyman, who we have handyman on staff,
Okay.
Who comes almost every day to our clients' homes, because almost every day there's
Sure.
a to-do list.
Sure.
Touch up, paint, whatever was needed. And she was like, my husband can't wait to come home now. And we created a really great office for him at the house so that he could work and play with the kids and be there. And it was like the thing that was missing in their marriage and in their life was a home that actually felt like a home for all of them. And so that was a really impactful one. But even more recently, the most impactful one that was, I think it was like in the last 2 months. It was, time just like flows together. I can't remember anymore. But this sweet client is a high-end designer in Austin. And she hired us to do their move to their brand new construction home. And she was like, I just need you to do all of it. I'm so overwhelmed. We did a very white glove approach. Like there wasn't a single box that she touched, or, we hired multiple vendors. We had all the things done for her so that they could just make dinner and turn on the TV night one. And it was an easy flow. It wasn't this like boxes everywhere. Where's the pasta? I need to keep the kids entertained. How do I turn on the TV? It's on the floor. It's like everything was set up for them to have at least a comfortable first evening. But on the final walkthrough, so we walk clients through spaces almost every day, especially on a move, just getting feedback. But we do a final walkthrough at the very end through every single space, just making sure they understand where everything is and if anything's changed and we need to move anything. And we're walking through her space, and you could just just tears coming through her eyes. And I always follow up within 24 to 48 hours. I text every client, and I'm like, and it's like a kind of, and it's not actually something I copy and paste, although I should, because that would make it faster. But I say how is everything feeling? And her response was just this lengthy text back. And I got it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's something awful. She's upset. And I was like, oh my God, what is it? And I'm reading this text and I'm just like smiling ear to ear. She goes on kind of to say how her childhood was really chaotic and really stressful. And she had this really narcissistic mother who just always made her feel so small. And she had this huge, wonderful her closet in their new house. So there's a his closet and a her closet, and hers was really big. And we just designed it. Like, it wasn't just like we organized, here's your purses. It's like we did levels. We made it feel like a boutique. We allowed things to spread out and like take up space. And that was exactly what she said. She's like, walking into my closet when you walked me through on the final day healed something from my childhood. She was like, it literally just made me feel comfortable owning more space. Like, I could be bigger and own more space than what my mom had told me my whole life.
Oh, my word.
And it was just this like, oh my God. So and that's what we really live for. And I feel like we're, like so many small companies, because we're still, I would say, very small. We're all wearing multiple hats and trying to be all the things, but we're really working this year on, and we've been working on it, and there's a lot more launching in the next 2 months on website and marketing and all of it, but we do not do a good job right now really communicating to people all that we do.
Yeah,
we're not
it's
just
very broad.
A company that you hire to organize your pencils and pens. Like, we're here to change your life. We're here to ease your cortisol levels. We're here to have a positive impact on your mental health, on your adrenals. There's so much more that organizing your space or clearing your space can do for you when it comes to, like, if you're on antidepressants, if you're taking medication for stress, whatever it is, I promise you what organization and decluttering and clearing your space can do is 10 times better than anything those drugs are doing without the side effects.
Wish I'd known you guys. We built recently and moved, and it was funny because, you put all the boxes in the garage, and, we were focused on the house, and my best friend came over, and she loves to organize garages.
Oh, you're lucky.
And she just said, can I do this?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. and the piece because there were no boxes, and and it seems so small, a garage at your home, but it's just a work of art. Everything was in a place, and I was calm, and I didn't have to worry about it. So
our brains crave order. They crave order. Yeah. Even if you're someone who has ADD and you're like, but I'm a mess and all the things, it doesn't matter. Like, we crave order. There's so much order in, like, the universe, like things that align perfectly. Like, we crave order, whether, like, you're good at it or not, doesn't matter.
That's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about your other entrepreneurial ventures. So what else, what do you filter? What lens do you use when you're looking at other things that you want to invest your talents in?
Yeah. Be More Organized has, I would say, very much served as a launch pad for other businesses and ventures and ideas. So I use an example of almost like a construction company. So it's like, the analogy is like, Be More Organized is essentially the construction company. And we buy dirt from this vendor, and we buy, wood from this vendor. And at this point, our business is so big, but also too reliant on other companies in order to do business. And so it's, and especially with issues in logistics and supply chain with some of these other companies that we've had to deal with, it's created a huge amount of challenge and stress and friction for us to overcome these unforeseen and impulsive, sometimes, decisions that other companies make that really negatively can affect how we're able to show up and serve. And the problem is, our clients at the end of the day, whether we were able to organize their pots and pans because the Rev-A-Shelf insert that we put in almost every drawer, so that we can change the drawer from just being a drawer that you throw pots and pans into that has like a structure to it, if I can't get that piece of material from the vendor I buy it from, then I can't organize the drawer that way. Then the clients opens up that drawer on the final walkthrough of that space and is just like a little bit underwhelmed, like, oh, I thought I was going to get this. This is what we talked about. And I say, oh, it's back ordered. I'd love to insert it at a later date. It still is a little underwhelming.
Right.
And even though there was nothing I could have done to change it,
sure.
it's still my fault. They still look at me as the person who didn't deliver. And so for us, at the level of excellence in service, Four Seasons, that we aim to serve at, we can't be this reliant on other companies. And so for the last 2 years, we've been actively building a few other sister companies that can support our business, but also solve gaps and problems in their field where other competitors, if you will, just aren't showing up or aren't showing up the way that they need to. And I think coming at this from a organizer's perspective is going to allow us to do it a lot better. So one of the companies that there were some changes that happened even just in the last week that we weren't planning on launching one of our companies until like Q1 of next year. And we're like, oh, okay, we're doing it now. Like it's happening now.
Yeah.
So we're doing a full restructuring of all of the businesses right now into new holding companies based on this one new venture that we are launching next week.
That's exciting.
So by the time this launches, it'll be active, so I can say it. But yeah, we're launching our own moving company. And so it's going to be called Be More Moving and Storage. So Be More Organized, and then we have Be More Moving and Storage. There's some movers that we've worked with for about 8 years now, and we love them. They're great. We have a lot of process and SOP within how we move. It's not just like throw stuff in boxes, unpack it. Like there is process to what we do, and they know that process. And so we've just been able to bring them in, and so we still have the same people that we've been using for a really long time, and now we're going to be able to have a lot more control over those logistics. And so what we ultimately want to provide Austin with is just a more white glove moving company. And there are a couple companies out there right now that claim that, but we've used them, we've tried them, and they're not. And so we're really excited to be able to show up and serve in a new way soon with that. It's going to really just make the moving process even smoother for our clients.
Well, and that allows you to do that consistency of service that your clients are going to expect in working with you. So that's just beautiful.
Yeah. And then we're slowly launching, but in the next 2 months, we're doing one of our first orders. And so it's going to be a slow build, as with everything I do, because I have to do it the hardest way. I have to bootstrap everything. So it's just, everything comes out of Brittany's savings account. So we're doing it slow, but we're moving towards launching our own product line. And so there are some businesses out there that don't have a competitor, and so we want to be their competitor, and we want to put more pressure on the industry to just show up and serve better. And it's going to be a B2B line that specifically shows up first to serve other organizers, and we have a lot of really cool things that we're going to do differently so that the businesses that are going into homes and serving clients can do that better and more efficiently.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
But a lot of work. I don't know where I'm going to find the time.
I cannot wait to hear and see what you create in that area. That's beautiful.
Thank you. It's really exciting. So yeah, it's going to be a busy Q4.
I love it. Well, I like to ask 2 questions at the end of each of our conversations. And one of them is, what do you think makes for a successful entrepreneur?
For me, I think it's service over spotlight. I think a lot of times, and there's a lot of data around this too, the more you rise as a leader, the more you rise in maybe popularity, the more you get more magazine covers, the more you get more attention or more power. I think a lot of times you have to, there's some friction around doing your best to stay humble and not become maybe narcissistic or love that spotlight too much and forget that it's not about you. And there's one thing I train for with all of my new little leaders in the company is I say, your job is to serve the people under you. They're not serving you. You are helping to lead them, but your job is to walk around, the leader on the project, their job is to walk around and check in on everyone hourly and be like, what do you need me to do for you? Want me to take out the trash? You want me to do labels, which honestly, I hate doing labels. And so it's like, just don't ask me to do that. But I think a lot of times, especially I think it's a sign of a weak leader, are the ones who get really power hungry. Yeah. And there's a lot of data around narcissism in CEOs and leaders, and it's more often than not, unfortunately. And so I think reminding yourself that it's service over spotlight. And I think the best leaders show up and serve the people underneath them, and remember that. And that's where the Four Seasons approach comes in for us. It's not just like, oh, they're a fancy hotel. It's, I'm obsessed with Isadora Sharp. I love how he built the company. I've read his book and listened to a lot of podcasts that he's done. They do every shift change that they do every 8 hours, whether it's 600 people or 200 people, depending on the size of the Four Seasons. They go over a company value and a story that goes along with that value. They're also, like the St. Regis, empowered to show up instantly without managerial approval. And if you hear that a client or a guest is uncomfortable with their room or had a bad dinner or whatever, you can just send a $500 bottle of wine to their room or whatever. It's like, make it right and make it right fast. Like, move quickly. Don't wait to go through all the political ranks and like get approval. Like, just fix it. And so that's where like the Four Seasons approach really comes for us, is value driven, testimonial and experience driven, and inspiring our team that you're not just here working 8 to 5. This isn't just you clocking in and clocking out and adding bins and baskets and throwing some pretty labels on. It's like, you're here serving someone. You were invited into someone's home to help them. They didn't sign up on our website because they're like, ooh, this looks like fun. Let's spend thousands of dollars. You know, it's like, they're like, I'm stressed out. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I need help. Like, that's what they're saying. When a client contacts us, I approach every like first phone call interaction with them as like, what's going on? Like, what's driving you crazy in your home kind of thing. And we very much show up the same way that like a hairstylist is. You know, like when you sit down in your hairstylist chair and you're like, they're cutting your hair, getting highlights like I need to. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to gab. I'm just going to tell you everything that's wrong in my life, right? And so it's very much that in our consultations with our clients. I think our longest consultation to date was like 6.5 hours.
Oh my.
Mind you, it was like a 10,000 square foot home, but still it's our consultation period is very much driven by our clients, because again, as we go through every single space in their home, it's very much driven by what's hurting you here. And it's like they just can dish and like let it all out. Like, someone's finally going to listen to me. I hate this thing. Can you get this thing out of here? Like, yes, I can do that.
Well, I love what you said about, it's showing up with the service mentality. It's empowering those to like rectify things that occur, because I don't care how wonderful a company we have, things just go wrong. That's just the nature of it, right?
We're humans. We're not robots.
Yeah. We found that the builder we selected, we were drawn to them because their motto was, we're going to begin and end the build as friends. And they proved it.
I love that.
They proved it all the way through.
I recently, so we do a lot of construction consulting. So we assist with new home builds, really thinking through all the cabinetry. We do a full inventory assessment of all of your items so that the new home is built for your items, not just like, oh, let's throw cabinets here. Maybe like 3 drawers here.
Right.
Like, no. What's the inventory that's going in here? Let's build it to what you want to store. You're building a custom home. Like, build it for you.
Right.
So, but anyway, point is, so recently a friend is remodeling a new home and she needed a new contractor. And we have one that we've loved working with for years. And I was like, you have to work for him. You have to work with him. Like, he's great. And she's like, she's like, well, my husband's going to need you to get on a phone call and like really like explain why, because there's this other builder who's a little bit more expensive, but has all the fancy equipment and all the things and the modeling and gives you like daily updates, and I need the updates and all the things. And I was like, okay, just schedule the call with your husband. So we get on the phone and we're going over it, and he was like, okay, so why should we hire this guy that you're recommending over this other guy? And I was like, well, he's not going to give you forecasting. He's not going to have any fancy software. He's not going to do any of that for you. But I've never known anyone in 8 years who has worked on every single one of my clients' homes, from building bathrooms to decks to add-ons to new pantries, whatever you need. And every single client loves him, and he will be there at 2 a.m. power washing your driveway just so that there's no dirt on it in the morning when you wake up. He's that kind of person. And so it's like, at the end of the day, don't look to hire the person who's going to do it perfectly. I'm not perfect. Like, my team is not perfect. Our processes are not perfect. We try for consistency and to be the best we can every day, but we're not robots. But what I can promise you is we're going to be there to fix it for free, or we're going to make it right, or we're going to keep coming until you're happy. But I think that's the best thing you can hire, is don't look to hire an upholstery vendor, a roofer, anyone. Your goal shouldn't be like someone who's perfect. It's someone who has the character that's like, I'm going to make sure this is done right. And I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be done. I'm not going to not make a mistake. But if I do make a mistake, it's going to be fixed.
I love that. And the final question is, how do you define success as an entrepreneur?
For me, I would say that's lives changed and people grown. And whether it's a client who can now find peace and calm and clarity in their home, and their mental health is changed, their family is changed, they're ready for their new baby, they're settled in their new home, their transition experience was lighter for them. That's success. And then also for my team, that we're growing leaders and growing and challenging our team to be better. We have a program that we call the PFP program, call it our People First program, where we monthly review accountability steps for, like, what action items are they working on, what goals are they setting, what books are you reading, and how can we help hold you accountable to being better. Where we do attribute testing, we use a company called The Working Genius to really understand our team's attributes and how those work together, and where we have gaps in the kind of attributes that we need to hire more of. But I think you don't have parents telling you that's wrong or that's where you need to do better. And a lot of times I don't think our spouses or even our best friends have the self-awareness and the critical thinking skills to kindly approach us and help us grow. Not criticize us, but kindly help us grow. And so I think more often than not, a lot of us aren't growing unless you're actively reading books and putting yourselves in challenging situations like entrepreneurship, where you will be challenged every single day to grow. You're not growing. And so we want to help make our team the best they can be personally. And this goes back to the 4 seasons as well, because if we give them all the tools that they need to succeed, then that will flow back into the company and back into our clients.
I have so enjoyed the conversation. Congratulations on your business. I can't wait to see everything that you do in the future. Thank you for your investment and time today.
No, thank you for having me.